Hello YouTube and preppers, this is the Comms Prepper in West Virginia. I'm home on vacation from Moscow, Russia, and made a trip out here to the retreat location in West Virginia. And looking downtown here from the mountain and getting ready to do a video for you on a new radio I bought today, or yesterday. The Yaesu FT-817ND. It's an all mode, all band 5 watt or QRP radio, and it has a lot of functionality, and I put a lot of thought into it and decided this would be a good radio to cover all the requirements I had for emergency communications planning. So, do a little pan here of the retreat location, and then we're going to go ahead inside and introduce you to the radio. Well, welcome everybody inside the Comms Prepper retreat out here in West Virginia. Today's video is going to be about a new radio I purchased. It's the Yaesu FT-817. I'm not going to operate this during this video. I'm just going to kind of give you an overview of this radio and kind of explain why I got this radio. Looking here down at the top of the radio now, I've actually got it tuned up to a local radio station. So, but this is an all-mode HF, VHF, UHF radio. I consider it a little man-pack radio, and I put a lot of thought in it, and I was trying to figure out if there was only one radio I could have for a bug-out bag or my communications plan, what would I want? And I looked at a lot of radios online, and I kept coming back to this radio because it does HF, VHF, and UHF, and it's very flexible. You can tell by the size it's not very big. It's a little man-pack configuration. But what drew me to this radio was the power for it, how flexible that was. So I already opened up this door so you can see inside. This little cover. The radio out of the box comes with this internal NiCad battery charger pack and a little wall charger, but it also came with another tray for using AA batteries, and I thought that was pretty neat because if you can't charge your radio up, then you can always find some AA batteries. The radio will also accept an external 12 volt power source, so it comes with a cord, and I went ahead and hooked that up to a gel cell battery I bought from Home Depot that I can recharge and then hook it up to the radio itself. But if you don't have one of these or a car battery, it's still a very flexible radio. You could double up 2 lantern batteries, 6 volt each, gives you 12 volts to operate. Or you can get some trays for D cell batteries from Radio Shack. I bought these, they're $2.95 a piece, and 4 D cell batteries, so the volt and a half each times 8, that gives you 6 volts. So the radio is very flexible when it comes to power requirements, of being able to power it up. And I think that's a critical component to any communications plan, is how you're going to power your equipment. So this is a pretty neat little radio. I'm going to put the cover back on. Snap that on. Another nice feature of this radio is it has a regular Bnc connector on the front, and it has an SO239 connector on the back. So in the software menu, when you tune up a frequency, you can go in there and select, do you want the front port to be on or the rear port? So if you mounted this like in a mobile configuration in like a box or a case, you could have your antennas connected to the back, or if you wanted to use the shoulder strap, you can throw this over your shoulder and connect up the front port and use the front antenna port. The antenna that comes with the radio is right here. I'll try to show you how this works. If you see that little gap there, this little piece is threaded on. So the antenna is a 3-part antenna. You get the base piece of the antenna here with the Bnc connector, and then this piece that screws onto the top for VHF and UHF. Or if you want to run the 54 megahertz 6 meter band, you can screw this piece on the top, and it gives you a little longer antenna for matching up the frequency. Of course, you get the microphone. Now, a few other items that I purchased is, because this is also an HF radio, and we have to make special antennas for HF, you're going to need an HF antenna tuner. So I went and I purchased an MFJ 971 QRP or low power antenna tuner to match up with this radio. So in the field, the radio would be connected to the tuner for HF frequencies, and then the tuner would be connected to the antenna. Now what I hope to demonstrate for you during this trip is using the tuner with a surplus military whip antenna I have that I've used in the past. That goes into a backpack. It has a string, an elastic string down the center and a threaded end, and you straighten this thing out and it snaps together, and then that piece can screw into this base plate, and then you can mount that to a vehicle. So that would screw in there, and then on the bottom is an SO239 connector that could run over to the back of the tuner, and you should be able to tune that antenna up and operate. And for, again, VHF and UHF, it has the antenna that you can put together there and connect that to the front. This radio also receives the wideband FM broadcast stations. It'll also monitor, not transmit, aviation bands, so you can pick up aviation traffic. So I think this is going to be a neat little bug-out bag radio. All mode, HF, VHF, UHF, and will provide some nice capability during an emergency, and very flexible on the power requirements. So if you can't charge it, there's a lot of options out there with this little radio, because it is only 5 watts. And as always, thank you for watching my videos and subscribing to my channel. This has been the Comms Prepper.